milking January 6th. If you listen to Democrats, every last one of them, you'd think that nothing was being done about the breach of the U.S. Capitol on January 6th. Never mind that the FBI's all-out hunts and raids have reached across 44 states. Never mind the continued detention of an unknown number of pro-Trump supporters. Never mind the more than 2,000 criminal charges brought by federal prosecutors against nearly 500 Americans arrested over the past 4 months. Nope, absolutely nothing is being done. So partisan Democrats need other anti-Trump partisans, shamelessly many of them in the Republican Party, to get to the bottom of January 6th. And of course, it won't be partisan and political at all.
As I have called for since the days just after the attack, an independent 9/11 style review is critical for removing the politics surrounding January 6th. We all know there's a lot of politics surrounding January 6th. This is about facts. It's not about partisan politics. It's about making the Capitol Police Complex stronger. It's about making the Capitol safer.
Sure. It's all about facts. It's all in good faith. Let's just throw untold millions of tax dollars at a dog and pony show commission championed by that arbiter of fairness and neutrality, Senator Chuck Schumer. You know, the same guy I talked to you about last week who wants to punish every last Trump supporter who went to the January 6th Capitol protest by putting them on a no-fly list. Yeah, he'll be fair.
I will put the January 6th commission legislation on the floor of the Senate for a vote, period. Republicans can let their constituents know. Are they on the side of truth? Or do they want to cover up for the insurrectionists and for Donald Trump?
Principled Republicans are right to oppose this charade and the continued weaponization of January 6th. It's not about finding the truth. It's about foisting the same old false narratives about conservatives on the public. It's about holding every Republican and Trump supporter accountable for the violent or reckless actions of a few. Of course, all lawbreakers must be held responsible. But Donald Trump is right. This is a Democrat trap. And as he put it, quote, unless the murders, riots, and firebombings in Portland, Minneapolis, Seattle, Chicago, and New York are also going to be studied, this discussion should be ended immediately. Absolutely. Trump urged Republicans to get smarter and tougher, to which I say amen. First, they should be united publicly in demanding answers about the death of January 6th protester Ashley Babbitt. Congressman Paul Gosar of Arizona is leading the way on that.
Mr. Rosen, do you recall the name of the young lady, a veteran wrapped in an American flag, that was killed in the U.S. Capitol?
I do. Her name was Ashley Babbitt.
Yes, Ashley Babbitt. Was Ashley Babbitt armed?
Again, Congressman, I mean to be respectful of your observations, but I just don't want to talk about individual situations or...
I'm clearly reclaiming my time, Mr. Rosen. No, she wasn't. She was wrapped in a U.S. flag. Was the death of Ashley Babbitt a homicide?
Congressman, I'm not trying to be unhelpful here, but I just cannot comment.
I understand, but I mean, reclaiming my time, as the death certificate says, it was a homicide. Who executed Ashley Babbitt?
Congressman, I'm just going to have to say the same thing here, that I don't want to get into the specific facts and investigations.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And Republicans should also be united in raising the alarm over abusive treatment of detained January 6 protesters held in solitary confinement, which even Democrats Elizabeth Warren and Dick Durbin have spoken out against. Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene called attention to these cases on the House floor this week.
Also, while it's catch and release for domestic terrorists Antifa BLM, the people who breached the Capitol on January 6th are being abused, some even being held for 23 hours a day in solitary confinement.
That's right. One January 6th defendant, Proud Boy Christopher Worrell, who was fighting non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, has remained in detention since March after contracting COVID while in custody.
Now to another update. An accused rioter and Proud Boy member wants to get out of jail. Christopher Worrell says he contracted COVID-19. He filed an emergency appeal to be released. His attorneys say he's at high risk for complications because he has non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Worrell is accused of pepper spraying police during the Capitol riot.
Defense attorney Marty Tancliffe, who represents 2 other January 6 detainees, told Politico.com this, quote, "This is not normal. It is not normal to isolate people and make them eat on their floor." Some have likened prison conditions for detained Trump supporters to the Soviet Gulag. From what I've learned in my own reporting on several of these cases, I concur absolutely. Democrats are milking January 6th and paying lip service to truth, justice, and the American way while throwing all 3 of those precious principles under the bus. And now they want to censure and cancel anyone who stands in their way. Get tough, get loud, and fight, Republicans. Silence is complicity.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.